Live from Nashville, Tennessee, it's theTHREE with the Studio C Band. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith and welcome to the 100th episode celebration of theTHREE. We kicked it off last week with the 100th episode, and it was a part one of a three-part series we're doing with all of my favorite previous episodes of theTHREE. But we couldn't fit them all into one, so we're having to do it in three. And last week we talked about all of my favorite bodily health episodes. We did a full recap on those. You need to go back. You can just go to our YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube, Laura Harris-Smith, theTHREE, and you can check us out there. All of those, that recap was so much fun. Anyway, you can check out all the episodes, but you can also check out the recap. This week, we're focusing on the emotional, mental health episodes. And, you know, it's so much fun because I kind of told you last week how theTHREE was started and how I started out in television when I was 3. And all of these, you know, decades, scores of years later, just am so thankful to be here, be doing what I do and get to talk to you and get to hear from you. Well, one of the most fun parts of doing this when we are in studio, right, because we started all this before the pandemic, and if you're new to theTHREE and you see that intro with the live band and the live studio audience, that's the show. That's the real show that we used to put on and will again once everybody's back in the studio and everybody can be safe again. That's the goal. But we include that opener on there to just remind you who we are and what our aim is, and that is to produce really good quality television, uplifting, faith-building, and of course that's going to include having people around you who are really good at what they do, including, these are my favorite guys, the Studio C Band. I'm going to show you a picture here of my Studio C Band. They are Travis Dykes, Jude Smith, Omar Olvera, Luke Wild, and Micah Vaughn. They are the Studio C Band, named as such because they could not think of a name for the band, and so we named them after the studio that we were shooting in, the studio section that we were shooting in, and that had been done by another late night talk show band one time, and so we were like, well, hey, let's just do that. So that band was put together by my son, the drummer, Jude Smith. Phenomenal drummer. Jude also wrote the theme song for theTHREE. Have I ever told you that? He wrote the theme song. He is an incredible music artist himself. You can go to iTunes and find his stuff. I highly suggest that you do. You can find him on Spotify. Just Google Jude Smith and he'll come up. I'm telling you, I'm a blessed woman and I gave birth to all the right people. So all of my kids just about have helped out on theTHREE in one way or the other. And Jude is just one of those, he's just the MVP because he put that band together for me. He helped find me the graphic artist who made the logo, Jordan Elliott. He created this incredible logo, a couple of different logos for theTHREE. And anyway, Jude created the theme song. He has been a part of, he's had his fingerprints in everything, and eventually even became the editor for theTHREE once the pandemic happened and we had to move everything in-house, so to speak. He had always been doing some of the editing, but now he became the full editor. Anyway, wow, I could not be doing what I'm doing without Jude Smith. And some of my most favorite memories, I'm not just talking about of theTHREE, but of my motherhood, are looking over across the stage, looking over across the set at Jude on his drums, and just those playful moments that we experienced getting to work together. And I have thoroughly enjoyed working with him, with you, Jude. Surprise, because you're probably going to be editing this, but you have been the highlight of the last 100 episodes, and I mean that with all of my mama's heart. So, cannot end this episode without thanking him and without thanking the entire Studio C band, without thanking everybody who was a part of the crew. Too many to name. Oh, we got to get on with the recap to all the episodes. I'm going to get lost crying talking about everybody who helps make the 3 possible. But thank you to all of you for the last 100 episodes. Now, let's get on to my flashbacks from all of my favorite episodes where we discussed your emotional health, your emotional well-being. And that includes all kinds of different avenues we're going to travel down. I guess you could call them rabbit trails today. And one of my favorites has become one of our favorite friends at the 3, which are Sam and Kevin Sorbo. They were here in season 1. In fact, I believe it was our very first episode. And so take a look now, a snippet from that interview.
But I just wanted to ask you, and I know everybody's wanting to know this too. So you met on the set of Hercules.
Yeah.
So you were Serena, of course, Princess Kieran and all that.
Right.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
But it's the same. So then when was that moment that you knew? Immediately, really?
Oh, yeah.
Look,
Okay.
I started hitting on her right away. I'm working her hard, and she laughs at me, and she goes, look, I don't date actors, and I don't date guys with long hair. She says to me.
And I don't date long distance.
You know, yeah.
And I'm like, 3 strikes, you're out.
So you were in another state?
I lived in New Zealand for 7 years. That's where I shot Hercules.
Wow.
It's on Netflix, so check it out.
Yeah. He's a good
But
salesman,
it was the most watched TV show in the world. I was very
Yes.
proud of being part of that. We passed Baywatch, so.
Well,
Which is kind of cool.
yeah.
But
It's hard to pass Baywatch.
by the 3rd day, can I tell real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
So I finally talk her into a date. So I pick her up in the car, and you drive on the other side of the road there, you know that. So she gets in the car, I have country music on. She goes, country music? I said, well, yeah, it's the only country station in all of New Zealand, but if you want to change it. She goes, no, I like country music. So we get to dinner, we start talking, and she said, are you conservative? And because the things I said, and I said, yes, I am. She goes, oh, well, I am too. Started talking some more. She goes, are you a Christian? I said, yes, I am a Christian. She said, wow, country music, Christian, and conservative, the 3 C's. I think I'm in love with you.
Awesome. Well, still in season 1, but at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention, which we had gone to and filmed several interviews. We've done that every season. I found a great opportunity to just pull aside with filmmaker Alex Kendrick of the Kendrick brothers. And so take a look at an excerpt from that great interview.
Alex Kendrick, author, actor, oh my goodness, director, father.
I try.
I mean, it is such a treat to get to talk to you, but the place that I have to start is you were a pastor. You were an associate pastor in Georgia.
Yes.
So you were an associate pastor there for 5 years?
Well, I started off at a church in Metro Atlanta,
Okay.
and then I moved down to Albany, Georgia in the late 90s, and I was on a staff there as an associate pastor for 10 years.
Wow.
And it was during those 10 years we started making movies,
Okay.
and then when the movie thing kind of had a life of its own, we started doing that
The
full-time.
movie thing. But you have the cameos. You know, so
We do.
my kids think you're just an actor. They think, oh, that was the guy that was in. I'm like, no, that's the guy that did the movie.
Right, and initially I wasn't going to be in the roles that I was in,
Okay.
but since everyone was a volunteer, we couldn't find an actor, a Christian
Really?
actor, that was available for 6 weeks for free. And so our pastor said, Alex, you're going to be there, you might as well do it. And so that's why I'm in the first 2 films. And then later, when some of our partners said, hey, when are you going to play another role? I was thinking I'm not. And then it's kind of come back up
So
here
it
and there.
started because of budget
Snowballing,
reasons. I know
yeah.
every verse to that song, trust me.
That's not an episode I'm soon going to forget, trust me. All right, when we come back from the break, I'm going to have more recaps of my favorite mind, mental health, emotional well-being episodes of the 3. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the third one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The Three. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and you are watching our 100th episode recap. It's a 3-part series, and today we're actually talking about all of my favorite emotional well-being episodes, about your mental health, and topics that stem off of that. It can even just be topics about joy, or topics, we did some traveling topics. We've done all kinds of things that I've lumped into this category because I just felt like they just were happy. They just made you happy, cheered you up, and increased your life, your mental health, your emotional health, and just your overall well-being. It's so important to a happy life. Well, one of the things that we did primarily that I want to cover first is we dealt with the topic of families and how they school their children. And so I had in season 2 a phenomenal guest. I believe it was our very first episode that fall, because I wanted to make room for all the parents who were trying to decide what they were going to do with their children in terms of schooling that year. Now, this was pre-pandemic, so I'm talking about every fall parents go through this. What should I do with my children? And I have one of my best friends in life. She is now an author, Erin Berry, and she had a great interview, provided great information for us on homeschooling, and I want you to take a look at some of it. Listen.
Yeah, back in the day, you had a television program. It was actually on CTN, our local affiliate, WHTN in Nashville. And you interviewed me for my first book. So
I did.
So yeah, take a look at this. Was this 1990? I'm trying to think. 92?
Well, it had to be right around 93 because both Georgie and Loren were babies.
Were babies, and right.
And I don't
My book
think
had come out in 92 or 3,
Yeah.
so you're right. That's right. So, Erin, that was 25 years ago.
I know.
Yeah, we're still rocking it 25 years later, so, but no.
Who are you created to be?
Yeah.
You don't want to be something else. You want to say, what are the gifts God has given me?
Right.
What's my part? And play it to His glory.
What do you think is the number one thing that keeps someone from homeschooling?
Fear. Fear.
I was going to say the same thing.
And fear, and really it's, I'm not enough.
Yes.
That's what I hear a lot is, I'm not enough, I can't do all this, I can't carry this.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell them, you're right, you're not. But with God, you are enough.
Amazing. All right. Skipping over to season 3, we had the opportunity to travel to the movie set of Unplanned. It is the story of the Planned Parenthood. I don't know if you've seen the movie Unplanned, but you need to see. We actually did 2 episodes on this Planned Parenthood story that takes place within that, and it's a true story. And I'm telling you, it was life-changing just being there on the set and seeing some of the things that took place. But I want you to take a listen to this interview that I did with several special guests of the 3.
Hey guys! Hi! I'm so happy you're all here.
Can you believe we're here?
No, I can't. It's such what are the odds?
Yeah, what are the odds we're all together again?
That's right. So the full story is that in season 1, I had each of these 3 guests on with me for different shows. On the 3. Okay, so we had Lorraine Varela. She's an author. She was there. We did a show on ISIS with you and Tom Doyle, remember? And your book, Love in the Face of ISIS. And it was there that I discovered that you have a love for film, writing, photography. Like there's nothing that Lorraine Varela does not do. And then it was there that we also interviewed Robia Scott. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to drop some funny clips in there of your dance moves and everything. But
Oh wait, hold on. You don't need clips. We can do it live right here, right now. It's always in there. Laura.
But that was the day you were on the show with my talent agent,
Yes.
Stephanie Williams. So that was a wonderful show. Got to connect a little bit. And then you came in on day 3, did one show with you, and we had a show that canceled, a guest that had to cancel. And on the way out the door, one of my other guests, Cindy and Mike Jacobs, Mike said, Laura, you need to interview this guy twice. Do 2 shows on him. And I said, oh, I don't think he can stay. Right. I said, I don't even think that he can stay. And so evidently, you and my husband Chris were backstage discussing the same thing. Right. And you gave me a hearty yes.
Yeah, I said, how are we going to get all this content in one little half hour?
Tell us about the movie itself. Can you give us just a brief?
Briefly, Unplanned is a true story about a woman named Abby Johnson, Christian woman in college. She gets recruited. She has a heart to help people. She's trying to find her role in life.
Yes.
And so she gets recruited to start to work at Planned Parenthood. And she believes, by what she's been told, that that is an opportunity for her to help women. Mm-hmm. So she goes up the corporate ladder. She is there giving and serving. And then she has one moment where she sort of goes behind the curtain. And she actually is involved in a procedure. And I don't want to give it away because the scene is so impactful and so powerful. But when she actually sees what is happening, the veil is lifted.
Yes.
And she realizes what she's a part of is not what she thought she was a part of. And then the whole film switches from her being pro-choice to pro-life.
All of them good friends, Mike Lindell, Lorraine Varela, and Robia Scott. Love them all dearly, and they all played a huge role in the making of Unplanned. You should go see it. Okay, next is, I would say, my favorite traveling episodes, maybe? Yeah, I would say definitely, for the 3. We ventured out in season 3, and we began, really taking the show on the road. And one of the things that we did was we went to the UK. Now, we were going as a part of our 35th wedding anniversary. My husband Chris and I were. And we thought, hey, we're going over there. Let's take like a scaled down production set and crew and equipment. And let's get some street interviews. And we did a show in England. We did a show in Wales. We did one in Scotland and one in Ireland. It's absolutely amazing to me that we got them all done. But we did. They were great. And now take a look at this. I'm going to do a little montage recap here of that amazing trip. Listen.
Next time on The 3, we're on the road and overseas. First up, England. Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and welcome to The 3, and welcome to the United Kingdom. It's week 1 of our 4-part series as we journey through Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and England. And we're starting in London, where we're studying its cultural and spiritual blueprint. We're looking for unique angles and stories in each region of this incredibly rich historic society. And, of course, we're going to have some royal fun. Next time on The 3, we're on the road and overseas in Wales. Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and welcome to The 3, and welcome to Wales. We'll see exactly what the Welsh people value. Which is more important, love or money?
Well, to be without either. I wouldn't wish to be without either, quite frankly.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Just wait till you see the very cool historical sites we visited, plus the gorgeous architecture and people.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and welcome to The 3, where we are in Belfast, Ireland today. As part of our UK tour this month, this is the home of Harland and Wolff Shipyard, where the Titanic was built. It took 2 years and 3,000 men to build the Titanic, one of which was my grandfather. But you may have never thought about what Titanic's message has to do with you, body, mind, and spirit.
Next time on The 3 is part 4 of our month-long series in the United Kingdom, and we're wrapping things up in Scotland.
It's a historical and cultural playground just waiting to be explored, and it starts right here at the birthplace of King James, Edinburgh Castle. Let's go inside and take a look around.
I'll take you on what's called the Royal Mile, which stretches through the city streets from Edinburgh Castle to Holyrood Palace.
I keep knocking and no one's answering.
Don't miss this exciting new edition next time on The 3.
Y'all, I still can't believe we got all of that filmed. All of that, and celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. We usually go to the UK on anniversaries that are divisible by 5. And so we were going to be there anyway, and we just said, let's just do it. Let's just pack it all up, and let's get an interview in each country. And we did it. Get this, the trip was 12 days, 10 airports, 5 countries, 12 cities, 7 hotels, 30 plus trains, countless taxis, and our stepometer said we had walked like almost 29 miles And most days that was pulling 4 suitcases, and we had backpacks and AV gear, you know, video. I mean, it was all that misty UK weather. We got to do it all in that. So I'm going to tell you, I'm very proud of those episodes, and I hope that you will go to theTHREE.tv and watch them, or you can always find them on our YouTube channel, Laura Harris Smith, The3. Just go to the address on your screen. All right. Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to conclude with some more episodes that made you happy. We're talking about your emotional health today, and all of my favorite episodes we had fun in the last 100 episodes. So be right back with more after the break. Stay close.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the 3rd one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
I'm naturopathic Dr. Laura Harris Smith, and if you'll give me 10 days, Give It to God and Go to Bed can help you stress less, sleep better, and dream more. There are even links inside to my free 10 Days to Deeper Sleep and Dreams program and 10 Goodnight videos. Can you close your eyes and just still listen to me? The whole book takes place in your bedroom, and with chapter titles like The Junk Under Your Bed, The Treasures in Your Bedroom, and The Monsters in Your Closet. Give It to God and Go to Bed helps you learn to rest and hear God speak in dreams. Take back your sleep and dreams, my friend, with Give It to God and Go to Bed. Welcome back from the break, everybody. I'm Laura Harris Smith. As you know, I homeschooled my kids for 24 years. You may not have known that. I had 6 kids. And I love it when I find a good author who provides help for parents in this topic. We already showed you excerpts from Erin Berry's interview. She's a homeschool author. But also, did you know that Kevin and Sam Sorbo homeschool their children? So I had Sam Sorbo back actually in season 4 at the NRB, and we had a great interview with her there about a very touching moment. Watch this interview.
Okay, I feel like just in the minute that we have left, I want you to just look right into your camera. There's a homeschool mom to be who is not thinking clearly about this. She thinks she can't do it, in fact.
You're going to get me emotional.
I know that I am, but I just felt like the Holy Spirit said there's someone watching and they're on the fence. What do you want to say to her? Or him? Sorry.
I love you and I love your children. Mm-hmm. And the greatest thing for them is to know that you love them enough to do right by them and keep them home with you, because they love you and they want to be with you.
Yeah.
And your job is to make that happen. That's your job as a parent. That's what the Bible says. That's what God wants for your children. The Bible never says, let the state educate your child. The Bible never says, let the church educate your child.
That's right.
The Bible's very clear. I think it's 6 instances the Bible says the parents educate the children. In 2 instances, it's the grandparents that are also enabled with that task. But your children are depending on you, and you can do it. I'm here to tell you you can do it. I didn't think that I could, but that's why I wrote the book, to empower parents. Because the power's being drained from the people.
That's right.
By this movement that we have. And I want you to feel powerful in your life so that your children can grow up and go, I can be powerful too.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing.
And now she's a good friend. You know, one of the good things that happened that season is we really began to introduce some political, I hate that word, more like governmental themes to the 3. That was season 4. And we had on Stephen Strang. Now, he had written a book about President Trump, and just take a listen to this interview.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The3. I'm here with Stephen Strang from Charisma Media, and we're talking about his new book, God, Trump, and the 2020 election.
You know, he's the one politician that it seems really, really important to him to keep the promises he
We're
made.
synced up because I was going to ask you this. Like, what do you think are the things that he has done for Christians? That's basically who's watching right now. What has he done for them?
Well, the number one thing for Christians and all Americans is putting judges on the bench who actually follow the Constitution.
Amen.
And of course, there's things that he's done that have benefited all Americans, from the tax cuts to the booming economy, cutting down on regulations which help business. But as far as Christians is concerned, he's articulated in some speeches. In fact, he did a speech before the United Nations on persecuted Christians that was so good I put it as an appendix in the book because it was just very, very articulate.
Amazing.
His State of the Union address articulated basic values, American values, but was very strong that every life was a gift from God.
Little snippets here and there, but we had some real meaty stuff that happened in season 4 of The Three, and we really began to just dive into some topics that I think set the stage for season 5. In season 5, wow, we took another show on the road. It was called, of course, the entire season was America the Beautiful, and we really focused on praying for our nation. But we also had a real special episode where we actually traveled to Chicago, to the home of Abraham Lincoln, and went to a Cubs game. We had all kinds of fun talking about Americana, just helping America heal. Take a look at an excerpt from that very special episode from the road.
Ball game.
Take me out to the
crowd.
Buy me some peanuts.
Cracker Jack.
I don't care if I never get back, cause it's
root for the White Sox.
What? 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
At the old ball game. Go Cubbies!
That was such a fun episode. I will never forget it. Had a couple of my kids on the trip with us, Genesis and Jude, and my husband Chris. We just had a blast. All right, guys, another great episode of The Three, and next week you got to come back because we are still celebrating our 100th episode of The Three. And next week, it's going to be another recap, part 3 of the recaps. This one, all dedicated to your spiritual health. You do not want to miss it. So thankful that you joined us for another episode of The Three, and we'll see you next time, everybody. I'm Laura Harris-Smith. Bye-bye for now.
A lot of mountains, a lot of valleys, a lot of difficulty. But Lord, everything was beautiful inside Studio C.